How do I get more protein in my diet? Well, this is a question we get asked all the time by clients, and it's important we do have enough protein in our diet, especially as we age.
So in this episode, we'll explain why it's important and give you a ton of strategies about how to up the levels of protein in your diet. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
Or episode with me, Claire. How are you? Oh, so we had
a little bit of a break there, didn't we?
We did. We had a week off last week, but that is for very good reason.
Yeah, sometimes, for everyone, life gets in the way, and it certainly did for us. We were busy running our final retreat of the year in Marbella at the stunning Punta Romano, and wow, what an amazing long weekend we had there. It was fantastic, wasn't it?
The weather was stunning, and we just had the most beautiful guests. So if you are listening, guests, thank you so much for sharing
incredible.
Sharing that time with us. And then, oh my goodness, what else have we been up to? So then we decided to come back to Ibiza, because we left here 2 years ago. So during COVID,
2.5, wasn't it?
Yeah, just over 2. So we left just after, when COVID happened, 2020, packed up our stuff and left Ibiza and moved permanently to London with some winters in Marbella, all over the place. So we decided to come back here for a little wee holiday, but we flew on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I was invited to do just an amazing event with NBC Universal on the menopause. So to be on a panel of experts. So I decided that was an opportunity not to be missed. And I'm a yes person to opportunities. So I decided to fly back to the UK, back to London, to do that for the evening on Tuesday, and then fly back to meet Mr. D on Wednesday morning back in Ibiza.
Woohoo!
So that's where we are.
And we are coming to you live from Ibiza now on, I think, the final day of our holiday before we head back to London.
We're heading back to London tomorrow. So, yes, that's what we've been up to.
Even though we did miss a week, we can't miss 2. So even though we're on holiday, here we are, listeners, recording our podcast for you.
And also, I have to say, it's hilarious. James and I, we don't ever stop working, to be honest, because it's our passion and our love. But we also ran on Thursday, I can't remember what day it is. On Thursday, we ran an amazing workshop. We had a really lovely turnout. Lots of people have booked calls because they want to join the Midlife Method, but we ran a masterclass on optimising hormones and resetting your metabolism, which went down a storm. So our calendar is getting booked out for next week's calls, and then we are having a new intake of people on the Midlife Method on the 31st of October. So if you are interested in also booking a call with us, we don't open our calendar up very often, but if you are interested in booking a call with us, we will add our email address in the show notes, but actually we could just tell you now as well. So it's team@themidlifementors.com. Just email us and we will send you our calendar booking link. And you can have a chat to us about what your goals are, what your struggles are at the moment, and how we might be able to help you.
Exactly that.
Boom.
Well, today we're going to be talking about protein, and specifically how to get more in your diet. Actually, I'm going to let a little segue off here, because a lot of people do say, when you guys go away on holiday, do you still train? Well, the answer to that is yes. We've come to you fresh from the gym in the hotel. So,
well, we're not fresh. Very sweaty.
Smelly.
Yeah.
But of course, when we look for a hotel, we always look for one with a gym. And this one's it's cute. It's by the sea. It's where we want to be, and it had a little gym. So it's not the equipment we're used to, but we've committed. Every morning we're in there. We're doing some high rep weight work. So we've only got light weights, and we're doing Tabatas. So, yes, every morning we get up and we still smash our workouts even though we're on holiday.
And even if you haven't got a gym when you're travelling, so many of our clients end up asking us for, travel workouts. And it's all possible to stay on track and motivated with bands and water bottles and your own body weight. There is really nothing you can't do to maintain momentum when you're away on holiday.
Exactly. Now, of course, because we're training, we also want to get our protein in.
Yes.
So that's inspired this talk about how to get more into your diet.
It might be quite a short one, Mr.
It's going to be short and sweet, this one. But it's something that comes up a lot for our clients. Like one of the things we educate our clients on is having more protein in your diet.
And why is that?
Because as we age, the levels of the hormone leptin decline. And leptin is the I'm full hormone, stops you feeling hungry. Now, it's in decline, but when we eat protein, that triggers a leptin, so it stimulates it and means that we feel fuller for longer. So obviously, if we're having more protein in our diet, protein will typically have like less calories definitely than fat and carbs, so we can eat more protein to get fuller and mean we're eating less overall and staying closer to the amounts that we want to eat.
And you burn more calories when you are digesting protein rather than carbs and fats.
Also, of course, we want to support the workouts we're doing and help build new muscle. Now, we need carbohydrates and protein for muscle, but most people are actually quite protein deficient in their diets when we look at them when they start working with us. So a common thing comes up like, how do I get more in? How do I get more in? Well, we're going to share that with you now.
And the thing is, when we are deficient in protein, there's lots of other signs that you might be deficient in protein. You know, and as we're aging, we're having hair loss issues, we're having skin issues, you know, brittle nails and things like that. So also, that's supported. If the more protein you can get into your diet, the more, like, the healthier your nails are going to be, the healthier your skin's going to be, the healthier your hair is going to be. So it also supports bones as well, bone density, which is also decreasing as we're aging. So protein helps with our bone density. I was saying this on the talk that I did, 1 in 2 women over 50 are going to experience osteoporosis, and again, really upping your protein is going to help with that. So
what are good sources of protein? Well, for your main meals, you've got lean red meat. Why lean? Because you don't want too much saturated fat in your diet. Of course, fish and poultry, all really good sources of protein. Now, if you're vegetarian or vegan, it's going to be a little trickier for you. You're going to have to rely on things like beans, pulses, soy-based products like tofu and tempeh. So those are the main items you can use in your meal.
And I think especially for vegetarians and vegans, but for everyone really, one of the things we would say, other than actual food substances, a really, really amazing way to up your protein in your diet every day is to buy a good quality protein powder. And it's, you know, we've got the one that we like, but it's what we would say is just make sure that it's low sugar. Some of the protein powders that we've talked about actually on our podcast before, Arbon, is full of sugar. So just be really, really careful that you're getting a good quality without lots of nasty chemicals in it. What we always say is the quite Americanized ones, the one with big bold colours and big muscly people on the packs. They're the ones that actually quite frequently have got lots of like emulsifiers and nasty chemicals and additives, and actually are quite high in sugar. So the one we use, we're happy to recommend the one we use My Protein, and it's the Impact Whey chocolate one is the one that we use, and it's how many grams of sugar is it in 100 grams? I think it's about something like that. It's a low sugar product, low sugar. So anything under 5, try and make sure you've got something under 5 grams per 100 grams of sugar in your protein powder. But again, for women for men and women that are vegan, vegetarian, you can actually buy plant-based protein powders, and My Protein does actually a version of that as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so whey is more bioavailable, so it has better uptake to the body. So if you're not vegetarian or vegan, then whey is the way to go. It's going to
Whey is the way to go.
Whey is the way to go. If you are vegetarian or vegan, then you can get plant-based protein. Now, here's the thing: they'll come from sources like you've got rice, pea, hemp, and a few more. But they all have different rates of absorption to the body. So you want to get a blend, right? A vegan blend that contains all of those different proteins, because they absorb at different rates. You're going to get a better protein profile.
But it's a really, really easy way of just upping your protein. How do you use your protein powder? You might think that you just need to add it to water. Well, you can do, but what we do with our breakfast, we have pretty much the same breakfast. I've really missed it, by the way. So I've had a completely different breakfast while I'm away on holiday, and it's really sad that I'm missing my power shake. But, you know, we'll have our breakfast, which has got your oats in it. I'm not going to go through the protein smoothie that we have. But you can just add that in the morning, either to a protein smoothie, a power shake, or you can add it to things like porridge. into low fat, low sugar yogurt. And again, this just is adding a lot more protein into your diet that you otherwise wouldn't be getting. So there are different ways that you can use that protein powder other than just stuffing it in water, which doesn't always taste very nice.
So many different ways. I actually invented a mocha with it. So I have my decaf
Oh yes,
coffee,
you did. Decaf
put
coffee.
like a small like half scoop of chocolate protein powder, and then like just give it a quick shake up, and you have delicious mocha coffee.
So again, things like porridge, especially as we're coming into winter, overnight oats, a power shake or something like that is a really good thing to set you up for the morning. Again, giving you lots and lots of energy.
Yeah. If you work from an office, if you're at home, like it's easy to manage, you just keep it at home. If you work from an office, you could keep a little bag of it in your office as well, right? 'Cause it is a very useful top up tool. If you're feeling hungry, rather than reaching, for a bag of crisps or biscuits, you can just knock up a quick shake with water, or with some coffee, or add it to a little pot of yogurt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really, really good snack. It's way better than going for the chocolate hobnob. So if you are fit, because you are going to trigger that leptin with that protein shake in the afternoon, I sometimes add a little bit, half a scoop, to a little bit of water, a little bit of almond milk or something like that, whiz it up in my blender. But again, like in the office, you can just take a shaker in and have that rather than having that crash in the afternoon and thinking, I really want something sweet. Make sure you go for the protein snacks instead, which actually leads us nicely onto protein snacks.
Yeah, other snacks. So other snacks you can go for biltong, which is the dried meat. I mean,
you might not like that.
Not for everyone. I personally don't like it. It's very chewy, but obviously that's very high protein. You can have cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is low fat, low sugar, high protein. Again, it's an acquired flavour.
I absolutely hate cottage cheese. I don't hate any food really at all. I now like baked beans. I never used to like baked beans. That's crazy. But cottage cheese, you're never going to convince me, James, that I like cottage cheese. So that's not an option.
Okay. Peanut butter is a good one, or any good quality nut butter. Again,
but be careful.
No sugar, no salt, no palm oil. But again, it's very nutritionally dense, so you just want to have a small amount. The fat will actually help trigger the leptin as well.
So there's something like a teaspoon of peanut butter, but again, just be really, really, really careful on the quantities here. We're not saying have a scoop of peanut butter every 20 minutes is not what we're saying.
Definitely not.
Yes, and also supermarket packs. This is what we advise our clients on all the time. We're very lucky in the UK that we've got things like, I'm going to sound like a snob now, but things like Waitrose and M&S, but also Sainsbury's and things like that, and Tesco's do them. But they've got pre-packed chicken already cooked that is just so easy to just, even if you are going to work, throw it in your bag and take it to work. If you've got a fridge at work, you just leave it there and you snack on chicken or prawns or something like that. Again, rather than going for the chocolate, which is just going to give you a high and have you crashing back down again, not triggering leptin and making you want more and more and more.
You can also get protein yogurts these days, so you'll see those yogurts marked high protein, but just be careful.
Yes.
Right? I'm going to go off here. There was a kind of trend about 2 years ago to start doing a lot of high protein foods. Started seeing things like protein Mars bars, protein Snickers, protein crisps. And they're still out there, right? But don't be deceived by those. Often when they have proteins added, it doesn't have that nice a flavour, so they increase the sugar in them.
Well, the Snickers one,
yeah, it's a lot higher
in sugar than the real
than
one.
The original Snickers. So just be careful on that. I wouldn't necessarily go for high protein food. The exception is some protein yogurts. You can check them out, or something like Skyr, this Icelandic yogurt, is naturally high in protein.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's another point to say. Actually, the yogurts, the Greek yogurts are obviously high in protein anyway, but make sure that they are low sugar, low fat, and then, like we said a moment ago, add that protein powder to get an extra hit of protein as well. So I hope...
Well, there's one more to mention, Claire, which is protein bars.
Yeah, well, you kind of mentioned them there, didn't you? Well,
I was talking about food that's normal food, but then it's been proteinised, so your Mars bars and things like that. But you also have got your protein bars. You've got brands like Bear Bells, Grenades, PhD.
What's the one that we've just started? Like Fuel.
For Fulfill.
Yeah, that's the one. They're really nice and actually low on sugar, low on protein.
So
I'm quite liking those.
We'll stock up on those when we're going travelling because they're good. But I'd say protein bars are kind of like port of last resort because they have got a lot of other stuff in them.
Exactly.
But when you are caught short, it's sometimes useful to have one of those rather than going for the chocolate bar or the biscuits.
Well, here's the thing. If you're travelling on a plane, you're not going to want to whip out your cottage cheese. You're not going to want to whip out your packs of chicken and prawns, are you? So if you are on a flight and you know you're going to get a little bit peckish, actually having a good quality protein bar is really helpful just to tide you over until you can have something a bit more substantial and more clean and good quality protein. But they are a bit of a last resort. But James and I do it. So
We do.
I think.
Yes, we better go off and get our high protein breakfast. So
Yes,
we're on holiday.
I
What
feel
we're
like
actually gonna
James.
do-
It's really funny, right? Anyone that knows us and has ever met us before, James is I can tell James is waning because he actually hasn't had his protein yet
Well,
today.
I've broken my will. I've trained and not eaten, and now I'm feeling the slump.
He's looking hangry. I tell you, people, he's looking hangry.
So we have some yogurt, we have some protein yogurt. We're mixing those together. We're going to add some low sugar granola, some fresh berries, and that is our breakfast.
Yeah,
this
and
morning.
sadly we didn't bring protein powder with us because that might look a bit dodgy going through security. But it's been known for us to take
It has,
protein powder
definitely.
with us. But anyway, we hope that helps because it is something, like we said right at the beginning, it's something that comes up for so many people, and we hammer this home. It is so important that you up your level of protein.
So I hope you found that useful. Do remember to share and tell your friends about our podcast. The more listeners, the merrier.
Absolutely, and do rate us nicely as well. That always really helps. And remember also, one final thing, if you would like to join the next cohort of the Midlife Method, we would love to hear from you. So just email us at team@themidlifementors.com and we will get straight back to you with our calendar link, a free consultation call. Just have a chat about what your goals are and some of your challenges and how we might be able to help you smash them. Sending lots of love.
Lots of love.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.